It does kind of smell like paint. If I had to pick one thing. Hey guys, so today's video I'm going to be doing another kind of 3-part series, and this one is all on Wet n Wild. I did one recently on Essence, so today we are going to be doing face products. So let's get into the video. Now, I haven't tried every single Wet n Wild product, obviously. I have tried a couple of their primers. So one of the primers that I've tested is a more moisturizing primer. It comes in the same style packaging as this one. It's very moisturizing. If you have dry skin, that's probably quite a nice one. It does say that it fills in the pores, but that's completely untrue. However, this one is the matte Photofocus primer, and I really enjoy this. This is actually my second tube. I finished off a whole one of these. It's really good for anyone with oily skin. It's extremely mattifying, so it does help to combat your oils during the day. It comes out exactly like the moisturizing one. When I first put it on, it felt pretty moisturizing, and I genuinely thought they had just rebranded the moisturizing primer. If you give it a second to kind of sink in, it starts to make your skin feel really nice and mattified. Now, their spray primers, I love this spray primer. This is the Photofocus Primer Water Spray, and this was from their like Birds of Paradise or something collection. It's really nice. I don't have much left. It has a different kind of nozzle than these primers that I'll get into a second. The mist is quite nice. It's not my favourite. It's actually a lot nicer than some of the other ones. These ones are the exact same as their setting spray nozzles, which is a bit more aggressive, to be completely honest. One is I haven't tried at all because my spray primer is literally broken. You can get this in cucumber, rose water, and also coconut. I did use the coconut one a decent amount, so much so that I think there's only about half of this left. But I did notice that it was starting to clog my pores. I started to get a lot more spots, so I have kind of stopped using this, and I'll only use it once in a while. It does smell nice though. It definitely smells like coconut. Just a little bit too aggressive, and it's the same on the normal setting sprays, which I'll get to in a minute. They're not the first spray primer that I'll pick up. So speaking of their setting sprays, the original Photofocus setting spray, I don't know if they've changed the name of this now, but they also have the matte finish. So the original one I did use quite a lot. It's a little bit less aggressive than the primer one for whatever reason, even though they seem to be in exactly the same bowls. I do enjoy it. I prefer this one. I've actually compared this in a dupes video to the Kat Von D Locket setting spray because it's just as mattifying. When you use it, you can feel your face getting tighter, which means that it's locking in your makeup for the rest of the day. This one, my thing literally gets stuck. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass. But then I have one of the most talked about and raved about, which is the Photofocus Foundation. I don't know if this has again been renamed, because I know they've got the dewy one, which is completely different. But I think they have a matte one now as well. So I don't know if this is now known as the matte version, and then they have a dewy version. But this is the original before the dewy version even came out. I have mine in the shade Shell Ivory. I feel like it's the exact match for me. I'm currently wearing the stick version of this, which again I'll get into in a second. It really compliments me. I used to love this, but I did notice that if I wore this on its own, it did tend to kind of break up. So I now use this as a mixer, and I really enjoy it as a mixer. It is super affordable. It is nice that it's in a glass bottle. I will say it does kind of smell like paint, and it has this really annoying paddle, so I don't love that. I'd rather it was on like a squeezy tube or something, to be honest, but it is enjoyable. What I do absolutely love, like if I had to pick one thing, I don't know, actually this lipstick's probably one of my favourites, but if I had to pick one face product, it would definitely be the Photofocus foundation stick. This again is in Shell Ivory. I am wearing it today. It is the closest dupe I can find to the Hourglass Foundation. Now, our Hourglass Foundation is about 40 odd pounds. This one is about 6. It gives you medium to full coverage. You can build it up. I think it's given me a decent coverage today. I don't go through it very quickly because I don't think you need as much stick foundation as you do a liquid foundation. The thing with stick foundations is it's a pigment, and because of that you don't tend to need as much as a liquid because that has more water in it, I think. Only thing I will say with Wet n Wild is that their foundation range is not inclusive enough. They need a lot more deeper shades. Another well-loved product is the Wet n Wild Photofocus pressed powder. This is in the shade Warm Light. I used to have Neutral Buff or something and it was not the right shade. However, this one I really enjoy. I used to use this as a powder foundation all the time. I still do every now and again, but since the sides left, it's a little harder to use, so to be honest I probably need to get a new one. But I did use it to set my face today. It is really complimentary to any of their Photofocus foundations. It's really nice, super smooth, super creamy for a powder. And again, really affordable. It's not dusty or anything like that. It's really nice. I will say this thing, after you've used it a couple of times, does tend to like fall in. And the last thing I want to mention is their concealer. The lightest one used to be this one, which was light ivory, and then they brought out lighter shades, so you can see the difference here. This is the, again, Photofocus concealer, but this one is in fair neutral. I used it for my under eyes today, which you can't tell because I've put a lot of eyeshadow on today because I was testing out an eyeshadow palette. To be honest, this used to be one of my go-to concealers. It's not as much anymore because I feel like I have other concealers. I don't have this really tiny doe foot, which, to be honest, I'm kind of over tiny doe foots now. The only one I'll allow for that is the Collection Lasting Perfection, because that is just full coverage, like really full coverage. This one's more like a medium to full. You can build it up really nice. It does blend out super easy. I've just found things I prefer now, to be honest, so I just don't gravitate towards them. But if you want an affordable, more natural everyday concealer, this is a really nice one to try out. So that is everything for part 1. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe if you feel like it. I would really appreciate it. I'll try and have part 2 up in the next couple of days. And that will be all my kind of face products, lighters, blushes, and I'm also going to include brushes, I think, in that one as well. So I hope to see you all very soon in the next video. Bye!